What is IOI?
So can I compare it to Bebras a little bit?
Yeah, please do.
Okay. So Bebras is aimed at everybody. Bebras is aimed at the top 99% of the kids. So there's always the bottom 1% where, this is too hard, this doesn't work if you can't read, or, there's no way to do this. Although we do have stuff for blind people as well.
That's great.
But IOI is at the other end of the spectrum. IOI is about computer programming, algorithmic programming specifically. It's aimed at the top 1% of the population and maybe the top 0.001% of the population. It's really, really hard. But it's about programming. It's about algorithms. In IOI, every program is, there's a little story. And then basically the question is, read some ridiculously large set of data from somewhere and tell us something about that data. Here is a graph of a country. Tell us what is the shortest path from A to B. That would be a trivial problem at the IOI level. But it's programming. And because it's aimed at older kids and it's so much abstract, yet so much easier to judge, it has an international final. So in the US, there's the United States Computing Olympiad, the USACO, which is organized by my friend Brian Dean. And so he's a professor in the US. He arranges the US team. I am the coach of the Dutch team, so I do the Netherlands. And then every year we meet in summer in some random country where we bring all the students and they get together for 1 week, and 2 days of that week are about computer programming. These problems are really hard, and it's not a spectator sport. So you have 5 hours to solve 3 problems. So you're looking at 200, 300 children sitting still behind the computer for 5 hours. And then at the end, we pick a winner. I explained it once to my wife by saying, yeah, it's like, you're watching a brick wall for 5 hours. And at the end, someone decides which brick is best.
Sounds riveting.
Yeah, but the rounds that come before that are extremely fun, and you can learn a lot. The USACO has 2 rounds. So the 2 groups, the bronze group and the silvers and then the golds. And you can move from league to league. If you do really well in one league, you move to a higher league.
Mm-hmm.
Within the league, you just learn a lot and the tasks are more at your level. And that's one thing that you have in athletics as well. But that's also what's fun to have in computer science. If I give you a problem that is so hard that it feels like I'm hitting you with a brick on your nose, you get disappointed pretty fast.
Right.
But if I give you a problem that feels like I'm throwing a pillow at your nose and you just have to dodge it, then you may not be able to dodge it every time because you're not fast enough, but it doesn't hurt as much. And by the time your reflexes get better, you're like, yeah, bring out the bricks, Kim.
Just wear a helmet. Stay safe.
Oh, wear a helmet. Yeah, wear a helmet. Sure, this curling parents. You don't have that term in the US?
The curling, the sport?
Yeah, but the curling parents.
No, what's that?
Oh, curling parents, that's a term in Europe where you have parents that will never, ever let their kids fall or suffer or get hurt because they always have the little broom and they're in front of the kids trying to make sure everything goes as smooth as possible for their child and they end up exactly where they should end up.
You know what? I think that is a very appropriate term that I think some people in the US should probably try and adopt. I've seen some parents like that.
No, but so IOI is fun. It's a nice community. And once you meet all these kids that make it to IOI, they're so much fun, but they're also so much in their element. Because some of these top performers, they've been geeky their whole life. And to me, geek is a compliment. And nerd is a compliment. I take up all these things probably the wrong way, but I look at them as compliments. And these are my people. I like to hang out with all these kids. And I like to hang out with the teachers that are there, the other coaches. And while we sit there, the night before the competition, the tasks are being brought out. And I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. But so the night before the first competition day, around 8:00, we get the tasks as the leaders. So the quarantine starts, the kids are in a different hotel. We get the tasks and we look at the tasks and we read them and then people start screaming at each other, just, oh, this is horrible, and how can they do this? Oh, this is clever. And then they sit and we discuss them for 2 hours. And then usually everybody just loves them. And then we translate them. Because this is not a competition about who is the best English speaker. This is a competition about who's the best programmer for algorithmic programs. And just as you would probably agree that it would be unfair if we would give German tasks to the US team, it's unfair if you give English tasks to the German team. And I have to explain it this way because quite often in the US, people ask, well, everybody speaks English, right? And if they don't, they should just learn to speak English. And I'm like, yeah, that's not how it works in the rest of the world. So it gets translated. But we do that throughout the night. Some countries are still translating at 4 a.m. And then at 9 o'clock, the contest starts. All the kids get into a big, usually it's a sports venue because it takes up so much space. Sit down, and then the contest gets started. And then it's dead silent for 5 hours in that whole audience hall. And while that's happening, I run the live broadcast where we show footage from the contest hall, but like I said, that's pretty boring. But then I bring in the people that have made up the tasks, and we discuss the tasks, the background, how should you solve this. But we also bring out the people that look after the kids. So every team gets assigned a team guide. That's usually a local boy or girl that speaks the local language and will help out these kids. And so we bring them out, and I'll ask them, what are the names of your kids? And then they mispronounce the names, obviously. And they're always proud of the students that they have to look after, and they're proud of their country. And I know that this is one of the favorite parts for most of the parents because they had to send their kids to Azerbaijan this year, or Russia, or Singapore, or any of these countries. They send their kids there with random people. And then they love seeing that the people that are there actually look after them.
Yeah, and I will say, having watched some of the broadcasts, it's really interesting seeing you talk with somebody about the thought processes involved of like different ways that you could solve something. So one of the ones that you did for this past summer was talking about ordering pairs of shoes.
Yes.
Make sure that it's always left, right, etc. Uh-huh. And it's starting out of order, and then talking through, well, you could do it this way, but here's another way you could do it. So it was interesting to watch and to learn from that, and just to kind of see those different processes that somebody could take for the same problem.
Exactly. And that's what we do, because remember, the idea of the IOI is, yes, we want to pick a winner, but we'd like to have a ranking where we can rank 320 kids from number 1 to number 320 with as few ties as is possible. Mm-hmm. So whenever we come up with a problem, we try to have it in a way where there are maybe multiple strategies, where one is a great strategy and one is, not as great. And, we'll give you more points for the best strategy.
Right.
And that way we can rank kids.
Yep.